Hello there, welcome to Non-Fil Flicks. We bring to you some of the top trending stories from Nigeria. In our lineup today, Buhari appoints Usman Baba as acting IGP. NNPC signs contract for Port Harcourt refinery rehabilitation. ASUP says strike still continues. Striking doctors to meet with House of Reps. Massob accuses FG of sponsoring attacks in Igboland. Manhunt begins for attackers who ambushed soldiers in BENUE. Abducted Chinese freed in Ogun State. CJN begs JUSUN to call off court strikes. KANO slashes March salaries by 50%. KADUNA mourns federal lawmaker. Herdsmen strike again at IRELE-EKITI. Oyo mourns Justice Permanent Secretary GBADEGESIN. And now to the news in full. I am Valerie Aligbe. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of DIG Usman Baba as the Acting Inspector General of Police. Minister of Police Affairs Mohammed Maigari Dinyadi, while briefing State House reporters, said Baba's appointment, while subject to the approval of the Council of the meeting, expected to be convened soon, starts with immediate effect. We recall that the President had on the 4th of February extended the tenure of Mohammed Adamu as the Inspector General of Police for 3 months. However, he spent 2 months and 3 days out of the 3-month extension before Baba's appointment. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has signed a contract with an international company, Mayor Technimont Spa, for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt Refinery Company (PHRC). We recall that the Federal Executive Council (FEC) had recently approved the sum of $1.5 billion for the project. However, the move was met with stiff resistance by many experts and the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, who said the company should be sold off. The National President of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, Anderson Izebe, has stated that the strike by the union still continues despite meeting with the federal government. The ASUP president, after the union's meeting with the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, said the strike has not been suspended, adding that the meeting with the minister is just the beginning of a resolution, and until it has been satisfactorily resolved, the strike must go on. The federal government, on the other hand, has said nothing is impossible in reaching an agreement with the union, while also disclosing that the governing council has been selected and will be inaugurated in no distant time. The leadership of the striking resident doctors under the umbrella of the National Association of Resident Doctors (NARD) has been summoned by the House of Representatives Committee on Health to discuss issues relating to their ongoing industrial strike action. The president of NARD, Uyilawa Ohiasui, who confirmed the meeting, however, said the association was yet to receive any invitation to resume talks with the federal government over their strike, which is now in its 5th day. Part of the Memorandum of Understanding reached with resident doctors at the talks held last Wednesday was that the federal government would immediately commence payment of arrears of the doctors' salaries and allowances. However, Okeasui said no payment has been made since they began the strike. Other issues raised by the aggrieved doctors in their notice of trade dispute are the non-payment of salaries of some house officers, the non-recruitment of house officers, the abolishment of the bench fees for doctors undergoing training in other hospitals, and the non-payment of the national minimum wage and hazard allowances. The leader of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Massob, Uchenna Amadu, has accused the federal government of being responsible for the attacks in Igboland. The group claimed it discovered the truth of the attack from its intelligence agency, stressing that the attack was undertaken by the government to discredit the struggle for freedom and portray the Southeast and the secessionists as violent. In a statement released, the group wondered why there was no security resistance during the breaking up of Owerri prisons and the Imo State Police headquarters in an operation that lasted more than an hour, advising Governor Hope Uzodinma to stop pointing fingers on IPOB or ESN or any other pro-Biafra organization, saying the freedom agitators are not responsible for all the criminal activities in Igboland. Soldiers of Operation Well-Stroke OPWS has begun a manhunt for the suspected attackers who ambushed fellow soldiers in a rural community in Konshisha Council area of Benue State. The attackers had on Monday evening seized some soldiers deployed to maintain peace between the two warring communities of Konshisha and Oju local government areas respectively. The soldiers' deployment to the area followed a fresh hostility that broke out between the Bonta community in Konshisha local government area and Nupute Ainu in Oju local government area over an age-long land dispute. Both communities border each other and have continued to engage in bitter rivalry. Two Chinese nationals abducted from their farm in Oba town in Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State have regained their freedom 7 days after. Though local news sources alleged that an undisclosed amount of money was paid before the release by their captors on Tuesday evening, the police public relations officer in the state, Abimbola Oyeyemi, denied any exchange of ransom, stating that the victims were rescued from their captors following serious efforts by men of the state police command. We recall that the two Chinese nationals were whisked away from the fishery and poultry farm last week by abductors who attacked the place and took them to an unknown destination. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, has met with some national and local officials of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, to explore solutions and ways to mitigate the impact of the ongoing strike in the judiciary. However, after hours of deliberation, the meeting ended in a deadlock with both parties not reaching any agreement. The CJN, however, asked JUSUN to call off the strike while the process of making the state government obey Order 10 and various court judgments on the autonomy of the judiciary is being implemented. The KANO state government has slashed the salaries of political office holders in the state by 50% for the month of March due to dwindling resources. According to the State Commissioner for Information, Mohammed Garba, the action was due to the shortfall in the revenue accruing to the state from the Federation account, stating further that the decisions affects the governor, the deputy governor, and all public office holders in the state, as well as all commissioners, special advisors, senior special assistants, among others. A federal lawmaker representing Lere Federal Constituency, Kaduna State, Suleiman Aliu Lere of the APC, is dead. According to a member of the family, Abubakar Lere, the lawmaker died on Tuesday morning in Abuja following a brief illness. We recall that the late lawmaker resumed at the National Assembly barely 2 months ago following a legal battle in which he emerged victorious at the appeal court in December of 2020. Less than a month after two farmers were killed by herdsmen in IRELE-EKITI, Ikole local government area of Ekiti State, 3 farmers have been brutally attacked again by people suspected to be herders in IRELE-EKITI, the same local government area. The arm-wielding attackers, who were said to be 6, stormed the farm settlement in the early hours of Tuesday, unleashing mayhem on the 3 farmers who had sustained life-threatening injuries from the attack. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer, PPRO ASP Sunday Abutu, confirmed the attack on the 3 women, saying investigations have begun in a bid to arrest the perpetrators. And finally, Wasiu Adetunji GBADEGESIN, the Permanent Secretary of your Ministry of Justice, is dead. Governor Seyi Makinde, in a statement, described his death as a painful blow to the judiciary and the state, further describing the late Solicitor General as a hardworking and efficient civil servant who gave his best during his lifetime. The governor stated that his wealth of experience and expertise will be greatly missed. With that, we've come to the end of our lineup for today. Do hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next bulletin. From us here at Non-Filflex, we ask that you stay safe and continue to practice safe distancing.